Hi everybody, Fortuna here. This is a themed event. This was a event held by FIDF about in support of Israel Defense Forces. I gave a speech at it about my cousin Danny. It's about a repeating cycle of violence because my cousin was actually killed in this violence. A turf war because it's clear. A narrator, in many ways I was a narrator giving the speech, talking about what happened. An escape, it was about how Danny tried to escape but couldn't. Ambition, he was there, he was in Pakistan for his own ambition, pursuing a story actually for the Wall Street Journal. It's about the muse because he was following his muse when he went there. Diligence, he was a diligent reporter. The male gaze, he was gazing and he's a male. Hill Street, it was on a hilly street actually where he got taken. Found footage because there is some footage on YouTube of how he was killed that's sort of found. A menagerie, his story is a menagerie of ups and downs and emotions. A mole, there was a mole that actually kind of revealed that he was a Jew, and that day that was the day he was killed. Myth, he's sort of become a myth to a lot of Jewish, kind of a Jewish mythical figure in many ways to a lot of people. A Sisyphean task, because what he was doing, reporting, is really a Sisyphean task in many ways. Collapse of civilization, it's things like this that make you think that a collapse of civilization is inevitable. A tramp, in some ways Danny was sort of a tramp because like he would just follow a story wherever it took him. He did all these dangerous things and ended up in all these sketchy situations before he ended up there. The trickster, he was also sort of a trickster. Despite all like the sadness around his story, he was just this kind of funny guy. An evil twin, it was in many ways his evil twin that spoke when they forced him to read all these lines of about the evil Zionist country and this and that. His ghost kind of haunts me to this day. He's sort of a father figure to me. Community, it's very much connected to the Jewish community, the story, and that's why I gave that speech. A healer, I hope that my words can in some way heal the pain that it caused a lot of people. A successor, I kind of always see myself as his successor. That's why I got into writing in the first place, actually. An interview, I've been interviewed multiple times about that story. A symbol of hope, I see him as a symbol of hope in his last words that my father is Jewish, my mother is Jewish, I am Jewish, is sort of these like powerful words. Robots, he was actually found, his killers were actually found in Pakistan and killed by drones in a attack with the robots, like the drones. Body horror, what they did to him was clearly horrific. They decapitated him. A juvenile delinquent, one of his killers was actually just a teenager, like 14 years old, one of the people in the video. And he actually still lives, he's at Guantanamo Bay. An unwanted visitor, that was Danny. A rope, he was tied with rope. Footsteps, he was surprised when he turned around and found these people coming at him. A reversal, because he thought he was going there to pursue a story, but it was really for that. A heartthrob, many people thought he was an attractive guy, and he was an attractive guy and sort of a heartthrob, and they even made Hollywood movies about him starring Angelina Jolie. A clever quip, there were quite a few of those in his book. A seeker, I sort of see myself as a seeker of the meaning in all this story. Greed, it was really greed that what they did and how they killed him. Absurdity, Ascendant, it's just absurd, like that we kill each other just for who we are. Idiocy, and it's idiotic as well. A double take, when I found out about the news, I literally did a double take, I couldn't believe it. And finally, a living toy, because that's kind of how we treat each other, just as these like living toys being to be used, soldiers, everything, and this pawns in this big game, and it's all kind of fucked up, but that's life.